رمضان كريم to all of our AIS community. كل عام وأنتم جميعا بألف خير. We are here today to discuss artificial intelligence. My name is Aseel Al Nasser. I'm an MYP physics teacher for grades 7, 8, and 9, so MYP years 2 to 4. And I also supervise and teach artificial intelligence, which is a newly added subject, which is provided by AI Quintessential, a company based in the UK, and a subject that we thought it might be of interest to add it to the curriculum this year. And next to me, we have two wonderful students from grade 7B. We have Sarah Lubani and we have Tia Zaidan, who will be sharing their experience with the AI courses. They've been taking AI for 2 semesters now, and they will be talking about their experiences and sharing what they've learned so far. First of all, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
And I will start with Sarah. Can you tell us and inform our community what is artificial intelligence in general?
In general, AI is short for artificial intelligence. It's a digital software or a robot that can perform tasks generally associated with conscious species. AI can be very helpful when giving organizations insights into their operational processes, and they can help us notice things that we may haven't noticed ourselves.
Wonderful. And now a question to both of you.
Mhm.
What came first to your mind when you first heard that we are going to introduce artificial intelligence, or what we call AI courses at school, and instead of having 5 lessons of science every week, you're going to have one of them, so 4 lessons of science and 1 lesson of artificial intelligence per week. So what came into your mind? How did you feel about it? Did you have any ideas?
I was, to be honest, I was really excited to have something to like break the routine. We had something different, something interesting. It was something to look forward to each week. And then when we actually started the whole program, it was even more interesting to begin to relate this information to everything we're learning. It was also very beneficial and it was really enjoyable. It was a really fun experience to break the routine and, have fun, I guess.
That's good to hear. What about you, Sarah? How did you?
At
How did you
first, I was quite excited because I hadn't taken anything related to AI before. So once I heard about it, I was excited. However, I didn't know what exactly to expect, and I didn't exactly know who was going to be giving me AI classes. So I'd say I was once I took the first class, I was very happy, and I was thrilled that Mrs. Seal was giving us the AI classes.
I'm really happy to hear. And this is also part of our school's mission, which is to prepare children for the real world. So because the world is shifting in the direction of technology, in the direction of artificial intelligence, which is the new computers, we thought, after taking a training last summer and attending one of the training courses by AI Quintessential. For instance, I attended the AI for K to 12, so how to integrate artificial intelligence in different year levels at school. We thought that this might be of interest to our students, and we introduced it. And it makes me really happy, especially after seeing the reaction of all of you. I didn't expect it personally as a teacher. I thought this is just another technical subject. I was really afraid that, given that I already teach technical subjects such as physics and mathematics, that this is going to be one more technical subject to put a label on as a teacher. But actually, the reaction from the students and how things turned out makes me really happy and overjoyed, because this was totally not anticipated. So my next question is, how do you find the structure of the AI lessons? How do you find the activities, the different activities? Could you tell us like a brief about how the lessons are usually done, and how do you find them?
It was very entertaining and interesting since usually we wouldn't begin directly to the point. We wouldn't just label our class. We'd first of all begin with a starter activity, get to figure out the lesson on our own. We can then deduce the topic out of the first activity we did, and then in the middle of the class there would be this main topic we are discussing. There would be I guess discussion between everyone in the class, and we would just communicate and say our thoughts, which was really helpful in the learning process. And then afterwards we'd begin with I guess the main topic and the activity, which for example once it was a we were given a hypothetical situation and we were meant to write to this fictional character Maria that for the reasons why she should own a house cleaning robot. So we do this activity or I guess application of what we learned, and then we'd finish off with a critical thinking question, I guess, to leave us off thinking about the lesson.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. And Saria, how do you associate AI lessons, or what do you associate AI lessons with?
So AI in general has really helped me expand my creativity and problem solving skills. So when I'd be assigned in a physics assignment, for example, and it would need me to use creativity, to use critical thinking, and be able to find a solution to something, I'd remember the structure of the AI classes and how I'd normally think and solve an issue during an AI class, or how you showed us the situations, how you sort of caught them and you explained them, and then it was easy for me to comprehend and find solutions for them. So I feel like the AI classes has had a very positive impact on my problem solving skills in general.
I'm really happy to hear, and this is actually the goal. So to have those kind of transfer skills and to do this connection between the different subjects, as we do in all MYP subjects. And what we're trying to do, or what we tried to do this year, is that rather than just offering these courses as online courses in which the students can do them on their own, which is still an option, and we do give this option as a homework for you guys to do, or part of the lesson would be to work on your own, to do the guided activities, because this is provided by the company itself. So it's like doing an online course on your own, but we try to merge with the MYP curricula, in which we do the starter activity, the core part of the lesson, and we finish off with an interesting closure activity. And I really like the fact that you mentioned the critical thinking and the problem solving. So different ATL skills is another thing that we focus on, and we try to establish across different subjects and disciplines. And now, given that you've been taking AI for 2 semesters, how do you see that this is going to help you in the future? So inshallah, in 5 years, you will be graduating from school, and the way things are moving because of COVID-19 and the emergence of artificial intelligence, and now people are talking also about the metaverse, we can see that a lot of jobs are changing, and people
being dependent on artificial intelligence way more than they used to.
Exactly, and the way things are being done is not the same as things were done, let's say, 10 years ago, and this is going to even change more rapidly in the future. So how do you think this is going to be an added benefit for you guys, given the fact that you are learning AI at the school level before getting AI at university? Do you have any kind of idea of what you want to pursue at university or as a career, perhaps?
I think this the whole premise of learning AI would be beneficial to us now and the future, and even beneficial for the future of AI itself. And because teaching the skill at a young age to us, it would help us pursue different career paths involving AI. Like digital marketing, anything that has to do with, for example, using a computer, programming softwares, all of this we'd be introduced prior to it, and it wouldn't be that hard fitting in to this whole new society, I guess. And it could help I guess the newer technologies and newer jobs emerge. So, for example, digital marketing and all that stuff could now emerge even further, and it would become a more popular thing, and people would, I guess, flourish in that group. And then also, it could overtake like other jobs that require, for example, it takes too much time, too much manual labor, too much money. Anything that could be dangerous or, I guess, too repetitive to be done by humans could be easily replaced by AI systems if we are able to develop them enough to become foolproof, I guess.
Great, and I really like the fact that you talked about about both sides. So just like any other emerging technology, it has two
Pros
sides,
and cons.
pros and cons, just like a double-sided sword. And how do you see that this could be also an advantage, even though with the different cons that it entails? But how do you see that
AI, how is it
still going to be advantages in the future?
Okay, so already AI powers many programs and services that help us every single day. So it already has a huge occupation or impact on our everyday life. So if it has such a big impact on us right now, then definitely in the future we're going to be more reliant on it. The okay, so AI helps us connect with friends using an email, using a rideshare service, and it also makes education easier, especially after the COVID pandemic. And most jobs could be, as Tia mentioned, dangerous for us humans to perform, that perhaps AI in the future might take over. And another thing that AI really gives us an advantage of is that it lowers the cost of dangerous things. So I believe that AI might in the future become more wanted than a human doing a certain job that's dangerous, since it would reduce the cost, it would reduce the danger, and in general just really change a lot of our everyday life. However, a very big disadvantage is that if AI manages to occupy a lot of our jobs or to take over a lot of our jobs, lower class people who work those dangerous jobs won't have any occupation to have. They won't be able to provide the money or the income source towards their families. So that can also create a bigger issue in poverty, which is already a huge social issue. However, AI can also introduce new jobs that can be very not harsh on the person. Working definitely can be exhausting, but like being a social media influencer, that's not as harsh as working in a mine.
Sure.
And it also provides you with more money. So there's sort of a balance in between the advantages and disadvantages of having AI in our lives.
True, and that's where kind of comes the fact that everyone should kind of try to ride the wave of the new emerging fields and try to upskill in different fields which will be in demand, perhaps not in 1 year, but rather in 5 or 10 years. So here comes the awareness of like being informed about where is the world going, in which direction is it going, and that's why we try to give you these courses at the school level in order to introduce you that in 5 years or in 10 years when you go to university, inshallah, I mean for the other generations as well, there might be a lot of fields which are not the ordinary fields that everyone tries to go in, for example, medicine, engineering, and pharmacy, etc. These will still be in demand, of course, but there will be other fields which will be more in demand, or actually artificial intelligence is also going to be part of the other fields, of every field. So in medicine, we will also have AI, in engineering, in finance and accounting, in different fields, because AI is basically the new computers or the new internet. So it's kind of like a new industrial revolution, not named an industrial revolution yet, but I do believe perhaps in a few years they might call it an industrial revolution as well. And my last question is right now you are taking, because for grades 6 to 8, we are offering them an introduction of AI in general. So you are learning about what AI is, what is machine learning, data science, what are the differences, for example, or the similarities between sensors and actuators. So we are giving you kind of a bird's eye view of what AI is in
Yeah.
general. We did take some lessons in which we had like to dive deep into coding using Pictoblocks. And this is one of the courses which is offered to grades 9 and 10, in which we are offering them introduction to programming. So hopefully in the future you will get also to work on programming software and to learn the basics of programming as well. Do you have any special kind of interests in any of those courses? I mean, do you look forward to building further on your AI knowledge, or do you prefer to have like this in general, a general knowledge?
I think that in the future it would be very interesting to, I guess, dive deeper into the whole programming and the different programming languages. Have I guess, a general insight of each and how each one works and why it works that way. So maybe also in the future we could somehow introduce a robotex into the whole thing. It would, I guess, make it even more interesting to show how programming could even help with things outside just your computer and where it could be applied in daily life, and what I guess what professions would use these different types of AI. And it's, yeah, it would be very interesting to just dive deeper into all of the different types.
Really happy to hear. And what about you, Sarah? Do you have like
I
an
definitely.
interest in programming?
Yeah. Programming specifically, not really. However, I'd love to expand my knowledge in AI. I feel like it's very important. As mentioned earlier, it's gonna be a huge part of our world in the future. And my mom always told me that to always gather as much knowledge about everything I know, because you don't know what type of situation you can find yourself in the future.
Exactly.
So I really try to expand my knowledge in anything I can. And it's honestly really been helpful for me so far. Sometimes background information or facts that you thought that you wouldn't like need to use end up really helping you in some situations, some conversations, some classes. So
I definitely do agree, and this is also why right now, especially after COVID-19 and online learning, people started talking that learning is shifting in a direction in which it is becoming
Virtual.
interdisciplinary. Exactly. So it's no longer just sciences on their own, or
They're
math
connecting
by
them,
itself.
everything
We are
together.
connecting everything together, and that's why I do agree definitely that we need to learn about everything, even if you do believe that you're not so experienced in any specific subject. But that doesn't mean that you don't have to learn about it. Let's say if someone is a computer engineer, nowadays computer engineering is, for example, integrated with different fields of medicine and engineering and etc. So it's no longer just learning a specific discipline on its own, but rather establishing this connection across different disciplines, because learning is shifting into becoming interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary as well. So I would like to finish off by thanking you both so much for your
Thank you.
time and for this wonderful discussion. I'm really, really happy to hear such positive remarks about artificial intelligence, and about also, it makes me really happy that you both are interested in diving deep or expanding your knowledge in the field of artificial intelligence. I definitely recommend you to do that. And hopefully in the coming years, we will be also offering different courses related to AI and programming, so you can build on that. Also at Asamiah School, we offer robotics as a subject. So we will also look into ways in which we can connect robotics with artificial intelligence. And we are also planning on integrating AI in different subjects, especially sciences. So the same way we do lab experiments, let's say, we can start integrating applications related to AI and related to the specific scientific subject that we are teaching. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone for watching. We will be also continuing with such episodes, not just only related to AI, but to other activities and to other things that are going at Asamiah School. And with regards to artificial intelligence, there will be videos posted on our social media platforms talking about different topics being taught within the AI courses and the programming courses we are offering. And we will have other students sharing their experiences either in videos or in podcast form. So stay tuned and have a good day. Thank you.